Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name is Ellis and I'll be your host for today's quiz, which is all about founders and fathers of literature. We've got 100 questions today, and at the end of the video we'd love you to let us know in the comments how many points you scored. You could be a champion, master, enthusiast, apprentice or explorer based on your score from 0 to 100, so let us know how you rank in the comments at the end of this quiz. Here we go then, let's get started. Question 1. Which of these choices is considered as the worshipper of nature? Robert Burns, Edmund Spenser, or William Wordsworth? The answer is William Wordsworth. 2. Who is known as the father of English learning? Robert Burns, Venerable Bede, or Geoffrey Chaucer? The answer is Venerable Bede. 3. Who is recognised as the father of English prose? Aeschylus, King Alfred the Great, or William of Newbury? The answer is King Alfred the Great. He is often called as the Chaucer of Scotland. Is that John Donne, Henry Fielding, or William Dunbar? The answer is William Dunbar. He is known as the father of American transcendentalism. Is that John Dryden, Henry Fielding, or Ralph Waldo Emerson? And the answer is Ralph Waldo Emerson. Question 6. He is commonly known as the father of essays. Is that William Caxton, Alexander Pope, or Michael de Montaigne? Depending on your relationship with essays, you may not like this person, but the answer is Michael de Montaigne. Which choices below is the father of modern linguistics? John Wycliffe, Nicholas Udall, or Leonard Bloomfield? Which of those is the father of modern linguistics? The answer is Leonard Bloomfield. 8. Who is acknowledged as the father of English novel? Hazlitt, Gutenberg, or Henry Fielding? The answer is Henry Fielding. 9. Which among the following is the mock heroic poet? Alexander Pope, Horace, or Noam Chomsky? The answer is Alexander Pope. Which one from the following is the father of historical criticism? Richard Steele, William Butler Yeats, or William of Newbury? The answer is William of Newbury. He is considered as the father of English criticism. Is that John Dryden, Thomas Hardy, or Samuel Johnson? The answer is John Dryden. He is remembered as the Bard of Avon. Is that John Milton, Geoffrey Chaucer, or William Shakespeare? The answer is William Shakespeare. 13. He is known throughout history as the father of English literature. Is that Edmund Spenser, Geoffrey Chaucer, or William Shakespeare? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. Question 14. He is described as the Bard of Ayrshire. Is that Robert Burns, George Eliot, or Matthew Arnold? The Bard of Ayrshire. otherwise known as Robert Burns. Question 15. Who is often called the child of Renaissance? Is that John Milton, Edmund Spenser, or Geoffrey Chaucer? The answer is Edmund Spenser. 16. Who is widely regarded as the morning star of Renaissance? John Milton, Edmund Spenser, or Geoffrey Chaucer? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. 17. Who is referred to as the father of modern English prose? Francis Bacon, Robert Bridges, or Venerable Bede? The answer is Francis Bacon. He is commonly known as the father of revenge tragedy. Is that Walter Scott, Thomas Kyd, or Eugene O'Neill? The answer is Walter Scott. He is identified as the father of historical novel. Is that Thomas Kyd, Walter Scott, or Eugene O'Neill? The answer is Thomas Kyd. Question 20. He is distinguished as the Prince of English essayists. Is that Petrarch, Richard Steele, or Charles Lamb? Charles Lamb is the answer. Who is the founder of Satanic School of Poetry? Lord Byron, G.M. Hopkins, or Thomas Hardy? And the answer is Lord Byron. Which of these is the first English comedy writer? John Donne, Nicholas Udall, or Harlow? The answer is Nicholas Udall. Which one from the following is known as the father of printing? Gutenberg, Hazlitt, or William Caxton? The answer, Gutenberg. Which of these choices is the father of English press? William Dunbar, William Caxton, or John Wycliffe? The father of English press is William Caxton. Who is recognised as the morning star of the Reformation? Aeschylus, John Wycliffe, or Harlow? The answer is John Wycliffe. 26. Who is referred to as the father of tragedy? Is that Aeschylus, John Donne, or Hazlitt? The answer is Aeschylus. Apologies for any mispronunciation there. 27. Which choices below is considered as the exponent of domestic novel? Which choice of the choices below is considered as the exponent of domestic novel? Jane Austen, Nicholas Udall, or John Donne? The answer is Jane Austen. Which of the given options is known as the founder of Wessex novels? Which of the given options is known as the founder of Wessex novels? Jane Austen, Thomas Hardy, or Nicholas Udall? The answer is Thomas Hardy. 29. He is identified as the metaphysical poet. Is that John Donne, William Caxton, or John Dryden? The answer is John Donne. 30. He is commonly known as the critics of critics. Hazlitt, Aeschylus, or Gutenberg? The answer is Hazlitt. Who is considered as the father of English tragedy? Is that Jane Austen, John Wycliffe, or Christopher Marlowe? The answer is Christopher Marlowe. Hope you're keeping up so far. We're on to question 32. Who is often called the morning star of English drama? Jane Austen, John Wycliffe, or Christopher Marlowe? The answer to question 32 is Christopher Marlowe. Who is the father of metaphysical school of poetry? John Donne, Alexander Pope, or Henry Fielding? Even if you don't know the answer to any of these questions, it's always worth having a guess. It will get that final score even higher. The answer to 33, though, is John Donne. Well done if you got that one. 34. Which one from the following is the first lexicographer? Thomas Gray, Samuel Johnson, or Richard Steele? The answer is Samuel Johnson. Who is acknowledged as the pioneer in structural linguistic? Dryden, Noam Chomsky, or Ferdinand de Saussure? The answer, Ferdinand de Saussure. Which of these choices is the father of modern drama? Eugene O'Neill, Edgar Allan Poe, or I.A. Richards? The answer, Eugene O'Neill. Who is known as the father of short story? Thomas Gray, Richard Steele, or Edgar Allan Poe? The father of short story is Edgar Allan Poe. Who is referred to as the father of Irish theatre movement? Petrarch, Noam Chomsky, or William Butler Yeats? The answer is William Butler Yeats. Who is known as the founder of sonnet? Is that Petrarch, Horace, or Dryden? And the correct answer? Petrarch. Question 40 now. Which of the choices is the founder of touchstone method? Horace Walpole, Matthew Arnold, or Thomas Gray? The answer is Matthew Arnold. He is best known as the founder of pre-Raphaelite movement. Is that Thomas Kidd, Walter Scott, or Dante Gabriel Rossetti? The answer is Dante Gabriel Rossetti. He is commonly known as the father of Gothic novels. Is that Horace Walpole, Charles Lamb, or Matthew Arnold? The answer is Horace Walpole. He is remembered as the father of English poetry. Are we talking there about Geoffrey Chaucer, William Shakespeare, or William Wordsworth? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. 44. He is known throughout history as the first national poet. Is that John Milton, Geoffrey Chaucer, or Robert Burns? The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. He is acclaimed as the poet's poet. Is that Edmund Spenser, John Milton, or Robert Burns? The answer, Edmund Spenser. He is best known as the Sweet Swan of Avon. Is that William of Newbury, William Shakespeare, or William Wordsworth? The Sweet Swan of Avon is William Shakespeare. 47. Which among the following is the exponent of tragicomedy? Francis Bacon, John Milton, or William Shakespeare? Well, he likes being the correct answer. It's William Shakespeare again. Question 48. Who is referred to as the poet of Devil's Party? Lord Byron, John Milton, or Robert Burns? The answer is John Milton. 49. Who is the master of the grand style? John Milton, Francis Bacon, or Edmund Spenser? The answer is John Milton. Question 50. Who is considered as the national poet of Scotland? Francis Bacon, Robert Burns, or Venerable Bede? And this question marks us being halfway through the quiz. We hope you're enjoying yourselves so far. The answer to question 50 is Robert Burns, and let's move on to the second half of this quiz. Which one from the following is the ploughman poet? Is that Robert Burns, Edmund Spenser, or Thomas Gray? The ploughman poet is Robert Burns. 52. Who is often called the lake poet? John Milton, William Shakespeare, or William Wordsworth? The answer is William Wordsworth. 53. He is widely recognised as the founder of Graveyard School of Poetry. Is that Robert Browning, Thomas Gray, or Richard Steele? The founder of Graveyard School of Poetry is Thomas Gray. 54. Who is considered the founder of English criticism? Dryden, Thomas, or Johnson? The answer is Dryden. 55. He is distinguished as the founder of dramatic monologue. Is that Thomas Gray, Eugene O'Neill, or Robert Browning? The answer is Robert Browning. Question 56 is coming up next. Which of the following is the greatest of Victorian era? John Milton, Charles Dickens, or John Wycliffe? The answer is Charles Dickens. 57. Who is widely regarded as the father of history? Herodotus, George Eliot, or Robert Bridges? The answer is Herodotus. 58. He is recognised as the critic of the Elizabethan era. Is that Charles Dickens, Sigmund Freud, or Sir Philip Sidney? The answer is Sir Philip Sidney. 59. Who is known as the major romantic poet? George Eliot, John Robert, or Samuel Taylor Coleridge? The answer is Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Question 60. Which among the following is the English Victorian novelist? John Wycliffe, George Eliot, or Robert Bridges? The answer is George Eliot. Who is recognised as the founder of the club? Is that Samuel Johnson, John Spencer, or John Robert? The answer is Samuel Johnson. 62. Which choices below is the founder of Society for Pure English? Robert Bridges, William Caxton, or John Dryden? So of those choices, which is the founder of Society for Pure English? The answer is Robert Bridges. Which of these choices is the founder of Theosophical? Is that Henry Fielding, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, or Ralph Waldo Emerson? The answer is Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Who is known as the founder of Touchstone Method? Matthew Arnold, Jane Austen, or John Donne? The answer is Matthew Arnold. Question 65. Which among the following is considered as the morning star of Reformation? Is that John Wycliffe, Michael de Montaigne, or Alexander Pope? The answer is John Wycliffe. Which choices of the below is the founder school of linguistics? Who founded the School of Linguistics? Was that Aeschylus, John Roberts, or William Caxton? The answer is John Robert. 67. Who is acknowledged as the founder of Promisage? Who is acknowledged as the founder of Promisage? Is that King Alfred the Great, Hazlitt, or Devendranath Tagore? The answer is Devendranath Tagore. 68. Which of the given options authorised the version of the Bible? Alexander Pope, King James I, or Lord Byron? Is it Alexander Pope, King James I, or Lord Byron? The answer is King James I. 69. Who is recognised as the exponent of epistolary novel? Who is recognised as the exponent of epistolary novel? Henry Fielding, William Dunbar, or Samuel Richardson? The answer is Samuel Richardson. 70. Which one of the following is known as the exponent of sprung rhythm? G.M. Hopkins, I.A. Richards, or R.W. Emerson? The answer is G.M. Hopkins. He is considered as the exponent of regional novels. Is that John Dryden, Thomas Hardy, or Marlowe? The answer is Thomas Hardy. 72. He is best known as the father of American poetry. Is that Walt Whitman, Walter Scott, or Robert Browning? The answer is Walt Whitman. Which of the following introduced blank verse? Earl of Surrey, Horace Walpole, or Noam Chomsky? The answer is Earl of Surrey. Which choices below introduced free verse? Walt Whitman, Thomas Gray, or John Milton? The answer is Walt Whitman. Which one of the following introduced the limerick? Samuel Johnson, Edward Lear, or Matthew Arnold? The answer is Edward Lear. Question 76. Who is known as the founder of Journal? Was that Mary Shelley, Jane Austen, or Petrarch? The correct answer is Mary Shelley. He is credited for introducing the terza rima. Is that John Milton, Charles Dickens, or Dante Alighieri? The answer is Dante Alighieri. Which of these introduced the sonnet to English literature? Thomas Gray, Thomas Wyatt, or Eugene O'Neill? The sonnet was introduced to English literature by Thomas Wyatt. Who is the father of English essay? Thomas Gray, Francis Bacon, or Robert Burns? The answer is Francis Bacon. 80. Which one from the following is the exponent of social essays? Is that Gutenberg, John Wycliffe, or Francis Bacon? The answer is Francis Bacon. 81. He is identified as the father of English history. Big title there, but does it apply to Venerable Bede, Robert Burns, or Edmund Spenser? The father of English history is Venerable Bede. He is commonly known as the founder of Lake School of Poetry. Is that William of Newbury, William Shakespeare, or William Wordsworth? So no points for working out that it's someone called William, but which one is it? The answer is William Wordsworth. 83. Who is the father of English language? John Milton, Geoffrey Chaucer, or William Shakespeare? Again, a big bold title there, the father of English language. The answer is Geoffrey Chaucer. 84. He is renowned as the father of English drama. Is that Henry Fielding, Michael de Montaigne, or Michael de Montaigne, or William Shakespeare? The answer is William Shakespeare. 85. He is described as the epic poet. Is that Robert Burns, John Milton, or Charles Dickens? The epic poet. Best title so far, I'd say. And it applies to John Milton. He is regarded as the great master of verse. Is that John Milton again? Or is it John Dryden or Hazlitt? The correct answer is John Milton again. 87. He is best known as the master of the grand style. Is that Nicholas Udall, John Donne, or, for a third time in a row, is it John Milton? He scored the hat-trick, is John Milton. Question 88. Which of the following is the high priest of nature? Edmund Spenser, John Milton, or William Wordsworth? John Milton going for 4 now. Will that be the correct answer? No, it won't. William Wordsworth comes in as the correct answer for question 88. Next question. He is the poet of childhood. Is that Alexander Pope, William Wordsworth, or Venerable Bede? The poet of childhood. The answer there is William Wordsworth. Trying to match John Milton's streak. Question 90. Who is the child of Reformation? Charles Dickens, John Milton, or Edmund Spenser? The answer is Edmund Spenser, though we wouldn't blame you if you'd gone for John Milton, just out of habit. Question 91. He is often called the poet of love. Is that Walter Scott, John Donne, or John Wycliffe? The poet of love. It is the romantic John Donne. 92. Which of the following writers contributed to the Cockney School of Poetry? Robert Browning, Leigh Hunt, or William Wordsworth? The answer is Leigh Hunt. 93. He is popularly known as the founder of Knight School of Poetry. He is popularly known as the founder of Knight School of Poetry. Is that Dickens, Marlowe, or Dryden? The answer is Marlowe. We're in the home stretch now, on to question 94. Who is the exponent of practical criticism? Thomas Gray, I.A. Richards, or Walter Scott? The answer is I.A. Richards. 95. What does the IA stand for in the name of I.A. Richards? Ian Arthur, Isaac Alexander, or Ivor Armstrong? The answer is Ivor or Ivor Armstrong. 96. Who coined the term metaphysical poetry? John Donne, Matthew Arnold, or Samuel Johnson? The correct answer is Samuel Johnson. Question 97. Who founded the Shakespearean Society? William Hazlitt, Richard Steele, or Frederick J. Furnivall? The correct answer is Frederick J. Furnivall. Question 98. Who were the co-founders of The Spectator? Richard Steele and Joseph Addison, Jonathan Swift and Alexander Pope, or Samuel Johnson and James Boswell? The answer is Richard Steele and Joseph Addison. 99. What is the real name of Lord Byron? John George Byron, George Gordon Byron, or Charles Gordon Byron? The answer is George Gordon Byron. And question 100. Who is the poet of nature? Is that Charles Dickens, Francis Bacon, or William Wordsworth? Can you get the question 100 right? It's William Wordsworth. But we're not quite done because we have a bonus question for you. What is the Latin word for literature? Let us know the answer in the comments below. And whilst you're there, you can let us know your score and how many points you got, because that is the end of this quiz. Look at those Quiz Class Einstein rewards. Are you a champion, master, enthusiast, apprentice, or an explorer? Based on your score from 0 to 100, you should be able to work that out and type it below. And that's it. Thanks a lot for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications on all of our upcoming videos. You can try these quizzes right now too, so please do get involved. Thanks a lot for joining us today. My name's Ellis and I've been your host, and we'll see you next time at Quiz Class.